Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about bow rehairs because they're important and I'm also due for one. So I figured that this would be a great time for me to talk about bow rehairs. When should you get a bow rehair? And also some signs to let you know when is an appropriate time to get a rehair, because again, it's not one size fits all depending on your region, but it'll definitely be kind of like a more general outline of when you should do bow rehair. Stick around to the end of the video. So first things first, you should check whether or not you need a bow rehair just by adding a little bit of rosin. Adding a little rosin will help you determine whether or not you need a bow rehair. So you can see on my bow that it's quite, white hair. And it's not white here because the sun is kind of reflecting, through the window here. But generally speaking, you want to have nice white hair from the tip of the bow to the frog. That's generally number one. Let's say you have put rosin on and you're just not getting that good sound. You're getting like a bow hair noise under your ear and it's kind of really bothering you. That could also be a sign that you need a bow rehair. Usually fresh hair on the violin bow is Mongolian horsehair. That's like really good white hair to apply on the violin. Also, it depends on like if you're a violinist, violist, cellist, bassist. Basses oftentimes like to use black horsehair because it offers them a bigger grip on the thicker strings, but violinists typically don't do that. We usually have white horsehair. Another thing that you can look out for when whether or not you should get a bow rehair is whether or not you see a little bit of gunk at the bottom of the bow and even at the tip of the bow. As you can see, it's not a lot on my end, but it's just enough for me to get a bow rehair because that's something that I just need to get done. I also won't get that big of a grip at the frog or at the tip. So to ensure, the highest quality of playing, you need to make sure that you are taking care of your equipment. And this is a regular maintenance thing that you have to do once every 6 months. However, it depends on your region. For me in New England, I tend to be rehairing my bow at least once every 6 months. The reason for that is because of the difference in the humidity and the climate changing throughout the seasons. Typically, when you have a bow hair, you want to do it close to September, October. That's when I usually time it out. I know it's a little bit late as December, but I finally started getting around to performances and I just want to make sure I sound really good. So I'm a little late in the game and it finally just started getting cold in New England. So that's where I'm at with this. But typically, like if you're a conservatory student, a great rule of thumb is to rehair the bow in the beginning of the school year and then right at the end of the school year, because you might be attending music festivals, and usually music festivals, they occur in the summer in the Northern Hemisphere in, North America or even in Europe. So you wanna make sure that your bow hair is adjusted to the correct length of the climate. Actually, something that I noticed in a student's bow the other day is that they bought a new carbon fiber bow, and the bow hair obviously comes with the bow. However, what I noticed in that specific carbon fiber bow, which was around the $400, $500 range, is that the bow hair was not adjusted correctly or was not installed correctly on the bow according to the climate. So that is one thing that's one little tip that I would advise for you to do. If you're in the market for a new bow and you are either shopping in the summer months or you're shopping in the colder months, I would ask to try out the bow, and then I would try out a bow with similar qualities, but has a short hair and longer hair, because you want to be able to adjust the hair accordingly. That is one quick tip I want to share with you when you're shopping for bows this holiday season. Another obvious thing to let you know that you need a bow rehair is just simply the hairs flying off the bow. Normally you'll find that this part of the bow hair is filled with a cork. Actually, let me see if I can take this off for you. Please be advised, don't try this at home unless you really know what you're doing. Right over here, you'll see that there is a cork right over here that holds all the bows together. Sometimes this cork will slip a little bit, and that'll cause some of the hairs to fly out. Again, that is another piece of information that is given to you, letting you know that you need to rehair your bow. So if you're starting to, if you're starting to lose hair and you're starting to see this bow hair starting to go, shrink slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, obviously if you have, very few hairs, you can't make a large sound. You really have no flexibility in your sound. So I would advise you to do that. See if you find all the hairs kind of flying off the bow, either in the frog or at the tip. I would advise you to get a bow rehair. And if you're a student and if you're not sure, ask your violin teacher, because they are the experts in your local area to help you determine whether or not you need a bow rehair or not. In terms of the prices of bow rehairs, it really depends on your region. Sometimes in New England and Massachusetts, it could range from $65 all the way up to $90, depending on the quality of the hair, depending on the person who is, doing the bow rehair, or what their qualifications are, what their experiences are in certain workshops. They can charge a higher premium for a better bow rehair. And most of the time, I wouldn't say all, but most of the time, a lot of the bow rehairs that are more expensive tend to be good ones, at least in my experience in my area. That might not be the case for you, but again, I would shop around for a bow rehair that fits your budget. And let's say you find something for a cheaper price and the person does a good job, then obviously you found a steal, you found a good deal. But if you find something with a little bit, that's a little cheap but very bad quality, then obviously that gives you information like, okay, I wouldn't recommend this to my colleagues, so therefore I'm just gonna go somewhere else. And to be honest, there's not much more to a bow rehair than that. You just have to understand, where the dirt kind of collects in the frog and the tip. And if you start noticing that, then you're game for a bow rehair. And if hairs start flying off, if you're not getting a good grip, if you're not getting as much sound, and also this, the bow rehair, and sorry, not the bow rehair, but the bow hair starts slimming down, that gives you enough information for you to get a bow hold. And there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eric. I'm a violinist. I do a lot of violin tutorials, violin product reviews, and educational videos such as this one. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so that way you get notified for when new videos come out. Helps me out as a content creator to provide more violin content for you. And if you haven't watched other videos on the channel, please make sure to watch my recent video on this side of the screen. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy holidays.